Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahara Kakadash, double honor the studio, elders and apostles of Great Millstone, many blessings and salutations into the hopeful elect, the house of David, the Bayaf our Dao, for whom these epistles are written for in these last days. Shalom to the elect. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty interesting article. And, to those of you that can receive it, receive it. Understand that the times that are marching towards it, we getting ready to head into so-called 2026, and these things are becoming a regular pattern of speech, among the elite circles that rule the entire world right now, according to Job 9:24, and they're making it less known, or they're making it less likely to not know what their plans truly are, and they're rolling out these surveillance systems and things of that nature. And, Jake is this whole hum, like whatever, you said this last year, you said this the year before. Okay, well, you can continue on in your folly. We're not gonna lose any sleep because Jake gonna get it, right? 2/3 will get it. Will not get it. Okay, 2/3 will not get it. Okay, they'll get a severe ass whooping from Yahweh. That's what they're gonna get. Meanwhile, the 1/3 are gonna claim. They're gonna cling on to this word, and they're gonna get it, and they're going to flourish. Okay. So this is from RT News. It says CI linked firms bemoan Western Europe's surveillance push. It says Palantir and Signal have expressed concerns over European censorship efforts and undemocratic practices. This is from Palantir, of all things. It says two major U.S.-based tech firms, Palantir Technologies and Signal Foundation, have sounded the alarm over rapidly growing state surveillance and controversial digital control plans sprouting up across Europe. Isn't this the kettle calling the pot black? You're all in the same business, okay? It says tech giant Palantir, known for its long-standing relationship with the CIA, one of the top customers and first investors, will not make a bid for any contracts connected to digital ID. The firm's UK boss, Lewis Mosley, said Palantir has long had a policy that will help democratically elected governments implement the policies they have been elected to deliver, and that does mean often we are involved in the implementation of very controversial measures. He told Times Radio on Thursday. It says digital ID is not one that was tested at the last election. It wasn't tested, or it wasn't the manifesto. So we haven't had a clear, resounding public support at the ballot box for its implementation. So isn't one of us? So is it's like it says. So it isn't one of for us. It says British Prime Minister Keir Starmer unveiled the ID plan late in September, touting it as a tool to help combat illegal employment while simplifying access to vital public services for the vast majority of people. And that's what you think that's going into, huh? What you think that's going into? The vast majority of people. He's telling you what it is. Psalms 64:2. It says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." That's right. And this is what they're doing. They're couching it in positive language when really it's not. Okay, they're trying to sell you on an ideology so that you can implement it, right? So that it'll be put in place and where everybody's going to have to abide by it. Okay. It says, "Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect." And that's exactly what he's doing when he's when they bringing out articles like this one, when they talking about a certain ideology they're trying to push out to the whole entire world, who do you think the basis of that ideology is about? It's about Jake. It's about getting Jake wrangled up into this system where he has no escape. Okay? It says, back in the article, it says, its critics, however, argued the scheme was a roadmap to blanket surveillance and digital control. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what's going on. And to not acknowledge that is malpractice. Okay? It says, meanwhile, another U.S.-based tech giant, encrypted messenger Signal, threatened to leave the EU market for good should the bloc push through its chat control plan. Signal is Signal is known to have links to the CIA as well, albeit less opaque. It says, having received funding from Radio Free Asia, a U.S. propaganda arm bankrolled by the agency. On Friday, the president of Signal Foundation, Meredith Whitaker, released a statement concerning media reports on what it called a catastrophic about-face on Germany's part, which is now expected to reverse its long-standing opposition to the plan. I wonder why. Cha-ching. Okay? A few phone calls were made. Okay? If we were given a chance between building a surveillance machine into Signal or leaving the market, we would leave the market. That's bullshit. You know that's bullshit. Okay? You know it's bullshit. Psalm 64:4, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. This is what they're doing. They're having a back and forth, but really it's control opposition. It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Right? So when they aim this system at you, right, it looks like they're aiming in at the Republicans or the conservatives, or the conservatives are aiming in at the Democrats, all right, or the liberals. But really, they're all working together. Let's get that. They're all working together. Okay? It may look like, see, what they're doing is called performative arguing, right? It looks like they're arguing with each other, but really they're not. Okay? This is Revelation 13:11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. So he's double-minded. He's two-faced. He presents himself as a lamb, which is a meek and humble animal, and then he speaks as a dragon, which is a very terrifying and very aggressive type of beast. Okay, so he's presenting himself as a different look than what he actually is going to speak. Okay, which the Lord called him a hypocrite, and that's what he's doing. He's being hypocritical. He's saying, well, no, you guys can't create your own blockchain. I wanted part of that. So he still is with the blockchain. He just wants it to be the way he wants it to be done. I tell you, the devil. Okay. Verse 12, it says, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast, which is the Roman Empire, before him, and causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Right. So he's going hard in the paint because he understands his time is short. Okay? He don't have as much time as he used to. So now he got to get this thing going. You got to get it rolling. Okay? Psalm 64:4, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, which is the elect of Israel. It says, suddenly do he shoot at him and fear not. All right? It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. It says they commune of lying. And they're communing. What are they doing? They're getting together. It says they commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? That's right. Hey, they're like, man, who gonna stop us? Who's gonna be able to stop or say anything about it? They don't know who our true target is. Okay? They don't know. Okay? That's what they look at it. They're like, Man, look, we making these bills, but really we talking about Israel, okay? We got to cut them off as a people. This is Isaiah 10 and 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. How are they doing those righteous decrees? Through the Senate, through the presidency. They're working hand to hand or hand to hand, right, to bring pain onto Israel, okay? That's what they're doing. And they're not making any, they not hiding it. It says, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. That's right. So they write grievousness, but they prescribed it. Okay? But they saying it, but you took it though. Well, listen, right? 2/3 are gonna justify choosing Esau. And we're gonna read to you why that's gonna be a bad proposition. That's a bad decision you made on your part. Okay? Verse 2, it says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right of my people. It says that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. That's right. And that's what the Esau is all about, going after the weakest of the weak. But in order to get through the weak, you got to go through the men. And the other nations ain't with that shit. And neither are we. But we understand 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to be hard-headed, mainly women. Okay, and they ain't gonna get it, and they're gonna have to perish on this side. They'll be back in the kingdom though. Okay, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. That's right, man. So these devils, are they're on the prowl, man. Okay. They're on the prowl, and they putting up these articles, man, and we're grabbing them off and doing lessons on them, and they're getting exposed more and more. Psalm 64 and 5, it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? That's right. So they're passing these unrighteous decrees and just continue to just get worse and worse and worse, right along with the society divulging. Okay, verse 6, it says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought and every one of them, and the heart is deep. That's right. So all Edomites think pretty much on the same type of wavelength, with lying, all right, adultery, anything you can think of that's wicked, they're with it. Okay? But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. And that's our hope. That's the only thing that's going to save us, is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Anything less than that is not feasible, okay? It's just not feasible, okay? Psalms 10 and 2, it says, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. That's right. So they're imagining, having the entire world chipped up and then absolutely just exterminating all Israelites, okay? It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord Yahweh abhorreth. That's right. So he hates particular nations, starting with Esau, Edom. Okay. Didn't it say that the Lord shall have enmity with Amalek from generation into generation? They're gonna have beef. Well, who's Amalek's grandfather? Right, according to the scriptures. It was Esau. Okay, so that means he came from the same lineage, the same line. All right. It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. That's right. It says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far out of his sight. And for all his ailments, as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. So he's puffing at us. He's puffing at he's puffing at his own brother, which is Russia. These devils are going down. And I think they know that. They're just trying to find a way to upset prophecy. Every day they're trying to find some type of way to stop it. They can't stop it. Because through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, the men of the Lord are waking up. And they're making it very, very known that they are woken up, and that your situation, your system is going to be destroyed very, very soon, according to Yahweh Shema Shah. So bless those brothers and sisters and little children that have come into this truth and come humbly. Unlike the pride of certain guys like Anton Daniels and Satan the Sinner and Tariq Nasheed, all these guys are very, very proud people, and they need to be humbled on a God scale, right? They need to be shown that the Heavenly Father ain't dealing with that fucking mess y'all dealing with, okay? And then you'll have to probably perish on this side, and you'll be back, and you'll be good in the kingdom of heaven. But them demons got to come up off you, though, okay? Verse 7, it says, verse 6, it says, he have said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. That's a proud nigga. It says his mouth is full of cursing and deceit, and fraud under his tongue is mischief. Tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. That's right. So he privately got he already talking to the other nations, but he really got a scope on you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. So if you ever get jumped on, or as far as you get big and bad, shit, Esau gonna bring out the media machine, gonna say we need to clean up these niggas and we'll go back to a happy society. Let's make America great again. So that's exactly where this is going. So even with the Palantir, you already see this devil he's gearing up. Okay? He's gearing up. And when we tell you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans not to take it, you scoff at us. You call us losers, right? This is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach 12 and 16 or 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? That's right. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. You knew the rules. These animals are wild, and you're not that same, in the same spirit as we were in the ancient world, where you can, hang with a lion, or a lion could hang with you, and after a while you start getting the best of them, or you might get the best of them at the front. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. It says, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? That's right. So you defiled by that same demon that was on him. Well, shit, that's on you. Okay. Verse 15 is, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. That's right. Come on, man. He ain't gonna waste no time to get you down into your lowest estate. And his whole thing is trying to keep you down. Like he had Jake for close to 400 years, doubting themselves, not knowing what's going on, not knowing who they were supposed to be. And now look at them. All right. It says, verse 16, it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly, this is Esau Edom, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to overthrow thee into a pit. It says, but if the bond support, if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretended to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So that's good. That's good game right there the Lord just gave us. So if you trusting in this devil, that's on you. The Lord already knew what time it was, and you didn't. You thought it was cool. Okay, well, we're gonna see how your end goes. And so, I just wanted to do this quick lesson. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Shah, Ba'Shem Harakakadash, Shalom to the elect.